Going to Maui today because we're going to sort of compare and contrast the differences between Maui and the Big Island. And how would you describe it?
Striking similarities and stark differences.
Aloha, it's 365 Hawaii
With Julie and Eric Ziemelis, and today we are at the
airport. Excitement. And we're going to Maui today because we're going to sort of compare and contrast the differences between Maui and the Big Island. And how would you describe it?
Striking similarities and stark differences. So one of the things that we want to bring to you guys today is not just like, here's more crowded versus less crowded, that kind of stuff. We're going to let you actually meet one of our friends who actually lives in Maui to get some really good insights on somebody who actually lives there. And we're going to be able to show you some of the cool things that a lot of people aren't going to get a chance to see, because I think we're going to get an intimate tour somewhere.
So yeah, and the other thing is just kind of get a vibe of what Maui's like and a vibe of what because they are quite different, even though they're only 60 miles apart, something crazy like that.
And if we can have a little shout out for our airport experience, we actually found parking today, but sometimes it's not that easy because our airport parking lots are getting crowded. And we also got a screaming deal at Hawaiian Airlines. If you're traveling in this time of year, it used to be $150 to fly between the island. Now it's $39. So that's the reason why.
And a $30 rental car.
Yeah, $30 rental car.
We're kind of off season. We're in the middle before Christmas.
So December's a good time to travel. And also, we hope to see some whales today too.
So all right, so let's go see what's going on.
The best part about being in Kona on Big Island is look at the airport. There's nobody here. Hello. Does Maui have these walk ramps where you just get in and out of the plane and you're boom right here in Hawaii? I really wish we did have a Starbucks, or at least a place selling Kona coffee at our airport, because our little restaurant.
Lost trying to find the Hertz rental car.
Okay, the wind. Let's talk about that as part of the experience of having to be here in Maui versus Kona, where this whipping experience usually only happens in Waikoloa Village. Hey, we're here at the Maui Ocean Center, and we are here with Dania Katz, and she is the owner and publisher of Edible Hawaii Island magazine. And we have been friends for a couple years. I'd say at least, like 8 or 9 years.
Longer than that.
Yeah. And so she has lived on this island for 30 years. So we figured there's nobody better to talk to about life on Maui than Dania. So let's jump into the vibe. What would you say the vibe is here?
Well, Maui is great. I mean, Maui, that brand name is known all around the world, I think, for hospitality, beauty, nature, adventure, good food. Yeah, good food. It's small enough where you feel like family.
Yeah, that's true. Okay.
Yeah.
And Dania's also spent some time over on Big Island. Okay, I'm gonna put you on the spot here, and I know you live here, but what do you think? You think do you love Maui so much that you would say that this island definitely gives you more than what our island has to offer?
No, I think that it depends on how you feel. Like if you're, I think, young, adventurous, really active, I think Maui or Kauai is a good place. If you're maybe a little bit older and you want more nightlife and cultural things, I think Oahu is great. Mm-hmm. I think the Big Island or Hawaii Island, I don't know, there's a debate about
Hawaii Island.
Obviously right now the volcano is a draw, and the island is split up, so you really have two different vibes. So, I mean, all the islands have such a different feel, and I guess it depends on how I'm feeling. Things here on Maui that we have that are not on any other island. Mm-hmm. For instance, the Maui Ocean Center, and it's a great educational place to really learn about, the water, the ocean, what fish and the habitat
Right, and a little bit more about the humpback whale.
Yeah,
And that's one thing too Maui does have is an abundance of humpback whale when they're actually in here. In fact, we're waiting to see one. The one thing that both islands have in common is that they have the Hawaiian green sea turtles. And one thing we've noticed so in Maui is that they get really big here, especially down near Black Rock. But it's so great to see them in an exhibit because you can see them flying around and they're damn cute. Taking a break real quick to let you guys hear a sponsor message because who's sponsoring this video? We are.
Okay, so we hope you guys enjoy our videos, and if you do, we'd like to ask you to subscribe. But today, subscribing is not good enough anymore because YouTube tends to you don't always get your subscriptions. So now you also have to hit notifications, so that way you're able to get the video.
Our sponsor message is that Eric and I sell real estate through Keller Williams on the island. And if you're thinking about buying a home here, please contact us directly because not only do we sell homes, we also connect people to community, volunteerism, and teach people the best way to live life here on this island. So with that, we'll go back to the show. Let's talk about some of the issues that you guys face here on our island. On your island.
Okay.
You were telling us about some water.
Yeah, so there's water issues, lack of water. There's always that balance of tourism versus local. I like to think of it as like management over promotion. There's also a big movement for, we're trying to encourage visitors and locals to eat local. Eat at locally owned restaurants, eat at restaurants that source at least 40% from the island, from Lahaina, whether it's fish or farming or cattle. But water and water shortages are a big issue. So is parking and traffic. And, you know, Maui's beautiful. I mean, we're wonderful hosts. We want people to come. We want people to enjoy themselves. But we want to educate them culturally and with sensitivity and to tread lightly.
Right, that's perfect because obviously that's important for all the Hawaiian Islands, I think.
Yes.
But Maui being so small,
Right.
And tell us a little bit in terms of how many people live on this island. About
160,000.
And then you were talking about how so if there's 160,000 people living here, what does that increase to by the time the tourists show up?
Well, last month, November 2022, we had about 89,000 visitors. So it's 3 visitors to 1 resident. You know, and that's reflective in the traffic or trying to buy something at the grocery store and you can't find it. Long lines everywhere that we want to go to. Tried to go to the movie the other day. There was an opening day for a film I wanted to see, and it was sold out. And you know, I mean, it's challenging.
Right, and that plays quality of life.
Yes.
So that's why we wanted to talk to you because the fact that the day-to-day life of the movie theaters and the grocery stores and the gas and the roads, it all plays into quality of life. So you can have your beautiful ocean views, but you also have to say, okay, I got to plan my day out, right?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, like driving. Like I live central Maui. If I'm driving to Lahaina, I plan to stay there all day. Or if I'm going to an event there on a Saturday night, I go to the beach in the morning. I find a place to shower and I stay all day there so I'm not late.
Yeah.
And that's just the new normal.
Okay, well, we take you outside, but it is a blustery, windy day today, and so this would be a good time to talk about weather as we're here in Maui. Do you know the name of this outlook?
I'm trying to get the name of the outlook. It's where everyone stops to watch for humpback whales between coming in from Kaluku to Lahaina. So I'll drop that information in the comments below. But this is like the place to go whale watching. And we've been here a couple times before where they're just like jumping everywhere. And I think I see some.
It's hard to tell because there's a lot of wind and a lot of rough weather, so it's making it a little more difficult. But in general, let's talk about the differences in weather between the two islands. We know that Maui tends to get they get a few more storms than we do. We again tend to be a little bit less have less storms.
Why is that? Eric?
Well, because we have our lovely mountains that protect us. The 13-foot tall Mauna Loa and Mauna Kea tend to have less storms because of that.
Right, because 13,000 feet is a good day.
Yes, it is. It's pretty tall. There's not a lot of storms going on up there.
Right, and it seems that with Maui being so short and small, that the trade winds coming across the ocean just hit it.
And particularly right where the airport is. That's the area that definitely gets hit more. Temperature-wise, they're a little bit cooler than we are on Big Island. The Big Island is, of course, is the hottest of all the islands.
Yeah.
Right?
Well,
and
specifically down in the Kona region.
Kona region. Well, yeah. And what else you got going on there?
Our friend said that basically this area that we're at right now is basically a wind tunnel. So we have our wind tunnel of Waikoloa Village, and they have theirs. It's right here where the Maui Ocean Center is. And of course, just like on all the islands, there's a Kona section, and Kanapali is kind of the Kona section of this island where it's going to be a lot more hot, dry, and sunny. So we were kind of laughing when we just were getting whipped around here that we're like, oh man, Maui. And then my friend says, oh no, this kind of happens all the time in this one part of the island.
That's right. Like and the temperatures range anywhere from, low at sea level. I'm not talking about up at the mountains, but roughly, 68 is cold for the winter, and 82 to 86 is 87 in the summer.
Yeah.
Gives you kind of an idea.
But I'll tell you, on the way to get to Maui today,
yeah.
I purposely grabbed a long sleeve shirt and a scarf, because it does get a little bit more chilly here, and also it has a tendency to kind of sprinkle a little bit more. So yeah, so with the wind and a little bit more of the sprinkling, it tends to just feel like a little bit cooler here. We have tunnels on Big Island. Leota's Pies. This is the yum yum stop of all Maui experiences if you love pastry. One thing we don't have in Big Island is a drive-up pastry shop with amazing pies. Beaches.
Yeah, it's bright and sunny and sandy here, is what I'm saying, and windy. Howling wind still.
So one thing is different about the beaches here is the fact that huge catamarans can just drive right up to the sandbar and just dump a bunch of people out on the
and they can have miles and miles of beach, and we don't have that.
No, we do have reefs, and we would have lots of lava, and we wouldn't have this whole stretch of all these places where you can just simply walk off a boat and step right into a restaurant. Yep. I will say that makes me jealous.
It does, and they have some great surfing here. There. I was thinking of that big Jaws that's coming up in winter, coming with those big waves over there. And Big Island, we have a few surf spots, but nothing like they have in Maui.
Yeah, but again, it's over on the other side.
It is.
So
this is the
happy Kiki experience over on this side.
Yeah.
So, but
it's nice. All these people are enjoying it. It's a beautiful day out.
Yep, and you get a chance to see the islands that from the other side. I think it's Lanai.
Yep, that's Lanai. Lodging and housing is our next topic of conversation. And as you can see, we're right in front of the Sheraton Kaanapali here.
There you go.
And we stayed here. It's a beautiful place. We got Black Rock right out of the corner there. Definitely cool.
Yep. And if you guys ever do stay at the Sheraton and go snorkeling down in front of Black Rock, be careful. I actually had to save a woman from drowning last time I was here.
There is a large current.
There is a large current. That's another thing too.
Yep.
Hotel guests don't usually get swept away on the Big Island.
On top of that. Okay, so in general, they have a lot of hotel rooms here in Maui. I would say, the road was the 3 times the number of visitors to the number of people that live on the island.
Yeah. And it's not just the fact that they've got hotel rooms; they've got condominium complexes
everywhere.
Yeah,
they're all over the island.
A lot of investors have purchased a lot of these condos to use for short-term vacation rentals.
Yeah, but the price is also a lot more. I would say that's definitely the more pricey of the island, all the islands, including Oahu, in terms of how much it costs you per night.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things that, a Big Island has less rooms and less people, but a little bit less price depending on what it is.
Right.
And the other thing is also, talking about lodging, is also, let's say you're going to buy a house here. Maui is the most expensive county that there is. And Big Island, there's parts that are really expensive, but you can also have the whole east side of the island, which definitely drops it down.
Somewhat affordable.
Affordable.
Yeah. There's no affordable on Maui.
I'd say that side's probably half as much as it is here.
Yeah.
What it is.
Yeah. And also, on Maui also, there's like, so what they have in Kailua near the airport is kind of like what we have for like Hilo is kind of like a working class experience,
right?
Where people who actually work here live in that area. And so Kaanapali and Lahaina is kind of where, you know, like more expensive.
This is definitely the tourists are.
Yeah. It's the Kona dry side of this island, and so of course you got these beautiful sweeping views of the ocean, the beaches, and so it's going to probably set you back at least $1 million for a condo here. So
yes, it is. On top of that.
And speaking of real quick,
yeah.
We do work for Keller Williams Realty, and I'll drop some information below if you guys are even considering purchasing a home here in Maui or in the Big Island.
Yes, we do have connections all over the place.
That's right.
Works out pretty well. Okay, so we found a nice little spot here at the Whalers Village Shopping Center. And we just thought we'd have a little discussion about shopping here on Maui versus the Big Island. And first of all, this mall is big.
Yeah.
Compared to what we've got. Do we have a mall? We've got one mall, Prince Kohio Shopping Center, and that's over in Hilo.
And it doesn't have Lululemon and some of the other boutiques and all that kind of stuff. Also, it doesn't have an outdoor play area like this place does.
Oh, yeah, it's pretty sweet. And this one is actually on the beach, too.
Yes,
Which makes it pretty cool.
And if you've been to Maui, obviously this is one of the places that everybody comes to go shopping and have their drinks and their oceanfront dining. So,
yeah, and we just got back with coming down Lahaina, coming up Lahaina this way. And they got a lot of, it's like a Kona, like triple sized is what I would say is what it's kind of old school, but still has a lot of it. They got a lot of new shops in there too. So definitely Maui is catered to shopping. If you're into shopping, Maui's much more your style than Big Island.
Yes, definitely. And I like the cute historic buildings for all the cool restaurants too.
Yeah, kind of upgrading the vintage look, but definitely nice on top of that.
And then in Kaanapali, it's mostly a lot of the restaurants are in the resorts or right here at Whalers Village. And again, kind of like what we do with the downtown, Kailua Kona, is everyone gets a chance to walk. But this has so many condos right next to the ocean that you don't get a chance to see the ocean until you actually get to the ocean.
Yeah, there's only certain places you can kind of do. But I guess even in downtown Kona, there's not a lot of places to get in the ocean either.
Well, I mean, like you can see it.
Yeah, that's
true.
You
can drive by and see the ocean. We're here in Kaanapali. All the oceanfront look is basically taken up by high-rise condos.
And this, just to put things in perspective, the parking here is it's $8 an hour. And back on Big Island, they just raised it, so we've got some pay for parking, and those are really expensive, like $12 an hour, or it's free. So it's kind of like, but everything seems to be pay here. Excuse me, Lahaina was not.
Lahaina.
If you could find something on the street, you're pretty good.
Yeah. But ladies, if you like boutiques and you like to have cool art galleries and fun little places where you can peek into and get your fun little tchotchkes and things, I have to say that this shopping experience along Front Street in Whalers Village is pretty awesome.
And a lot of ways to spend your money.
Yeah, that's Eric and I talked about this. Right, that on Big Island, if shopping is your pastime and that's part of your recreation, probably not your best island to be on. But you can get yourself in a lot of trouble when you have this much shopping available.
But I will say this: let's just do a quick comparison to Maui to Oahu. Oahu's got an entire,
they got the entire Waikiki
here. Yeah, that's like gigantic. So this is definitely small.
I'd say it's a mix between the two. So here's Waikiki and here's Big Island. Maui's a nice little mix.
Yeah, but I'd say it's closer to Oahu than it is towards the Big Island.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, definitely. And mostly tourists are here right now. So at least in downtown, or at least in Kailua Kona, you get kind of a mix of some of the people who actually live there down shopping. Mm-hmm. But this is definitely the place where you're taking your tourist dollar off for a walk.
$16 for a short period of time. Parking is just expensive now. That's just how it is.
What happens when resources are full, I guess is what you'd say. You know what I mean? This is happening I guess it's happening all over the world, but it's definitely obvious here in Hawaii. And Maui is ahead of the Big Island. Sometimes they have so many people here they can't do anything. We're talking like, 2 to 3 hours to get on a plane. We're talking trying to get to the beach. You can't get there, and traffic is, takes you forever to get there. And we have some of that on the Big Island, particularly, where was I thinking for the Big Island as a good example of that? Like the lava. We had a lava flow just recently, up there on Mauna Loa, and we had
25,000 cars go by that in the course of 5 days.
Bumper to bumper for at least an hour.
Right, and then they spent all day yesterday cleaning up the trash that was left behind.
Yeah. So, example. So, at the top of Haleakala, you have to get a
Permit.
A
A reservation.
Reservation to get up there. And there are some beaches that are starting to do that. And I heard in Maui they've got beaches that are locals only until in the morning, and then they go to tourists later on. And here on the Big Island, we're starting to charge more tourists for beaches that we never did before. The next one is Ka'alu that they're going to start charging for on top of that.
Right. But they haven't figured out a way to close the beach park area for tourists for a few hours a day, because we're not there yet.
Yeah.
Right? I don't think we've ever said to ourselves, oh my gosh, except for, of course, that little fun parking lot down at the Mauna Kea Resort.
Keep referring back to. And then other things like where we are is we've got YPO was ended up getting closed because the road was so difficult to get down there, and so many people wanted to get down there, and they just had to close it because of they claim it was closed because of that it was dangerous, which is true. And when you put that many people on the road, it's definitely dangerous.
Yeah, and also, if you guys don't know, we also heard recently that Po'olu'u won't let you go past the first valley up to the bench anymore either. So they've managed to put a kibosh on that because, again, resource management.
And that's what we're talking about. So it's we don't have a solution. It's just one of those things you need to be aware of when coming here, and don't expect you're going to be able to go everywhere easily and get around like there's no tomorrow. But I guess I hear again, this is, I hear all over Europe, they have the same problems. Anytime and it might have something to do with that 8 billion people on this planet now.
Right.
Too many people.
I think in the last 2 or 3 years too, we had revenge tourism where everyone got stuck in a lockdown and decided to do everything at once. But 2019 was the biggest tourism year for Hawaiian Islands altogether, and then it came back like a ram after 2021. And so that's why the Hawaii Tourism Authority is actually working with a cultural group so that they are managing, not just promoting the islands, so that we have the resources.
Local businesses is one thing that we've always promoted, is going to coffee terms. We're talking about planting koa trees, things like that.
Right.
And I think Maui's got similar things going on, because it just has to be done.
Right. And so just so you guys know, I put it on my 365 Things to Do in Kona page about 3 years ago. I saw this coming, and I asked a bunch of people. I said, if you came to be on a vacation in Hawaii, would you volunteer your time when you were on the island? And the first round of people said, absolutely, I would do anything for Hawaii. I love it so much. And then there's a whole bunch of people who said, I'm not going to spend my time volunteering. I spend $10,000 to come to that island. You're not going to make me do anything. But you know what? A bunch of people said, that's not the aloha spirit. So we do promote the fact that when you come, give back to the island. The whole thing is giving back more than you take.
And come here with respect.
Yes,
would be another one. Don't just come trampling in there. I think they describe it as coming into your family's house. You wouldn't just come in and disrupt everything. You would sort of acknowledge them and say hi, and then kind of come into their house with
and bring a gift.
And bring a gift.
Right.
Yes, definitely on top.
So, is there anything else about Maui? Oh, okay, we're gonna go check out a restaurant though. We'll take you with us. Our friend Dania told us to go and check it out. It's called Hui Hui.
End of the day.
With your Perrier.
Still gotta fly back.